In research, the concepts of hypothesis and proposition play a central role in shaping the direction and scope of a study. A hypothesis is essentially a statement that suggests a possible explanation for a phenomenon or predicts a relationship between variables. It is based on prior knowledge, observations, or theoretical frameworks, and it serves as a starting point for scientific inquiry. Think of it as an educated guess about what you expect to find in your research. For instance, if you observe that students who study more hours tend to perform better on exams, you might formulate a hypothesis like, students who spend more hours studying will score higher on exams. This hypothesis can then be tested through systematic data collection and analysis. The process of developing a hypothesis involves several key steps. First, you start by identifying a research problem. This could be something you've observed, something that's been discussed in the literature, or a gap in existing research. Once the problem is identified, you review the relevant literature to understand what's already known about the topic. This helps you to refine your research question and develop a more focused hypothesis. The next step is to formulate the hypothesis itself. A good hypothesis should be clear, specific, and testable. It should make a prediction that can be supported or refuted through empirical evidence. For example, the hypothesis students who spend more hours studying will score higher on exams is specific because it identifies the variables, study time and exam scores, and it is testable because you can collect data on study hours and exam scores to see if the predicted relationship exists. On the other hand, a proposition is a broader statement or idea that doesn't necessarily need to be tested. Propositions are more like general assumptions or beliefs about a topic that set the stage for further inquiry. They are often derived from theories and serve as the foundation for developing hypotheses. For instance, a proposition might be something like, education is a key factor in economic development. This statement is broad and doesn't specify any particular variables or relationships that can be tested directly. Instead, it provides a general belief or assumption that can be explored in various ways through more specific hypotheses. Understanding the difference between a hypothesis and a proposition is essential for early career researchers because it influences how research questions are framed and studies are designed. Hypotheses are used to guide the research process, focusing on specific predictions that can be empirically tested. They require researchers to think critically about what data is needed, how it will be collected, and how it will be analyzed. This process of hypothesis testing is fundamental to the scientific method because it allows researchers to draw conclusions based on evidence, rather than mere speculation. In contrast, propositions are more abstract and are often used to generate hypotheses or guide broader research agendas. While they don't require testing in the same way hypotheses do, they are still important because they help researchers conceptualize the broader context of their study. For example, above-mentioned proposition might lead to multiple hypotheses about specific aspects of education, such as the impact of primary education on income levels or the role of higher education in technological innovation.